What is delimitation? Deciding the number of seats in Lok Sabha, and also recently the Prime Minister inaugurated the new Parliament House. In Lok Sabha, based on 1951 census, there were 494 seats. Based on 1961 census, there were 522 seats. And based on 1971 census, it was 543 seats. And even today, we have the same 543. Why? So what are the two issues here, guys? Democracy versus federalism. Whichever be the option, considering the different demographic profile in India, what are the way forward? How do we address this? See, as I told you, if you look at it as democracy versus federalism, it's a problem. But it can be looked at. Hi friends, welcome. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the delimitation exercise. What is delimitation? Deciding the number of seats in Lok Sabha and also in assemblies of the states. But in this video, I'll stick to Lok Sabha because that is where the debate is about democracy versus federalism. So what is it? We'll understand it in this video. See, recently the Prime Minister inaugurated the new Parliament House. And the new Parliament House, the Lok Sabha has a seating capacity of 888 and Rajya Sabha has more than 340 seats as against existing 245. So then it created a debate whether they are going to increase the number of seats in the Lok Sabha. What is the background? Why some people, some states are opposing to it? So in India, the Lok Sabha seats and assembly seats are determined based on census, every census. So, we had census after the independence, after commencement of the Constitution, 51, 61, 71, so on and so forth. 2021 census, of course, has been delayed, first because of COVID and now because of administrative and other reasons. But every census, this is supposed to be looked at and changed. And so, in Lok Sabha, based on 1951 census, there were 494 seats. Based on 1961 census, there were 522 seats. And based on 1971 census, it was 543 seats. And even today, we have the same 543. Why? Because in 1976, during emergency, in order to achieve population control, see, because democracy means what? Ruled by the people. So, depending on the number of people, population in a state, there must be so many number of MPs in the Lok Sabha. That is what is democracy. But we are also a federal country. Federal country means we have one government at the center, parliament at the union level and the executive. And there are different states in the country and no state should feel at a disadvantage. There were states in northern part of India where the population stabilization had not happened during that period in a significant way, whereas the population stabilization had increased in the southern part of the country. So in order to promote family planning and population control and all, and not to give any undue advantage to the states with a higher population, because the smaller states or the states with lower population should not feel disadvantaged. So this was frozen based on 1971 census. They said for the next 25 years till 2001 we will not touch it, and when 2001 came, they again said we will not touch it till 2026. So that is why the number of seats in our Lok Sabha is now based on 1971 census and the total is 543. Roughly, I mean not an exact number, but roughly for every 10 lakh population, 1 MP. You can see this chart which has various states with the number of seats and their population as per 1971 census. You will be able to make that out. But now we are nearing 2026, right? And so there is a talk. The new Parliament House, as I said, is having a seating capacity of 888 Lok Sabha MPs. So now, what are the two issues here, guys? Democracy versus federalism. Democracy, as I told you, is ruled by the people. So, population, so many number of MPs should be there in the Lok Sabha. But federalism requires that no state should be at a disadvantage. The states which have controlled the population should not lose their political power when compared to the states which have not controlled their population or which have delayed the controlling of the population. Now it has stabilized more or less. But this is the federal issue, guys, and both are basic structures of the Constitution. See, we are one country, there is no doubt about that. We are Union of India, we are united together, but at the same time we are a federal country. We have different states with their own culture, their own language, and the unity and integrity of the nation is also dependent on no state feeling left out or no state feeling disadvantaged or shortchanged when compared to some other states. That is also very essential for maintaining the federal fabric, which is very important for maintaining the unity and integrity. That is why this debate, democracy versus federalism, when it comes to allocation of seats in the Lok Sabha. Now quickly let us look at two scenarios. What are the possible methods that can be applied, and these are based on experts' calculation by a method known as Webster method. People who are more interested in knowing it can just go and Google about this Webster method and all and find out how that calculation happens. But basically it is based on population, proportion of seats to population, more or less maintained, again based on 2026 population, right? Because the first census may happen later or 2021 census may happen around that time, but whichever be the case, the calculations are based on the projected population of India as per 2026. So first scenario is retaining the 543 seats as it is, but reapportioning the seats based on the population as of 2026, in which case Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh will gain 31 seats as per the calculation, whereas the southern states will lose 26 seats. So this can make the southern states feel, array, we have controlled the population, but we are getting lesser number of seats and our political power is reducing when compared to the North Indian states, the larger North Indian states. This is one method. The other is from 543 increase the number of seats to 848. But then again apportion it to various states based on the projected population of 2026 using this method, Webster method. And when that happens, Kerala, which has 20 seats as on date in 543, will continue to have the same 20 seats even in 848. Tamil Nadu from 39 will go up to 49. Andhra and Telangana, which put together have 42, will go up to 54, whereas Rajasthan will double from 25 to 50. Bihar will almost double from 40 to 79. UP will go up by more than 3/4 from 80 to 143. And look at the northeastern states, except for Assam, which will have a small increase. The other northeastern states will continue to have the same number of seats, 1 or 2, even in 848. So, before we go into the challenges, let us look at the international comparison. Examples. USA is a federal country like India. But what happens in USA? There is a House of Representatives which is equivalent to our Lok Sabha. And there the number of seats has been frozen at 435. It was frozen in 1911 and then through an act in the 1920s, the 435 seats does not change. But of course, every census they reapportion the seats through their own formula, but hardly any change. Out of the 50 states in US, 37 states did not have a change at all when compared to 2010 and 2020 census. And few states lost 1 seat, few states gained 1 seat, but it is not significant. So that is something which cannot be applied in India because of the difference in demographic profile. European Union, which is the parliament which is made of 27 different countries which make laws for economic matters in Europe, there they have something called as Cambridge Compromise based on the principle of digressive proportionality. Now guys, this is a statistical term. We don't have to understand that from a statistical point of view. But what does this digressive proportionality mean? Each member of more populous state represents more citizens when compared to smaller state. So let's take a hypothetical example in Indian case to understand this. Let's say the population of Kerala as per 2026 at 2026 is 3.2 crores and it will have 20 seats, which means it will represent 16 lakh. Every MP will represent 16 lakhs population. The population of UP, this is Kerala, the population of UP estimated, projected at 24 crores in 2026, 24.2 crores. By the same logic of 16 lakhs for every MP, UP will have 143 seats. That is what we saw in the previous slide. But under digressive proportionality, more populous state, an MP will represent more citizens, which means in UP it will not be, let's say, 16 lakh representation for every MP, it may be 24 lakhs, which means UP, the number of seats will go up to only 100, not 143. Now this is an other option that can be seen. But whichever be the option, considering the different demographic profile in India, right, if based on the Webster method, 543 is reapportioned, or it is increased to 848 and allocated based on the population as per 2026 estimate for calculation purposes, the southern states are at a disadvantage, the northeastern states are at a disadvantage, even the smaller states in North India like Punjab, Haryana and all will be at a disadvantage when compared to the larger North Indian states of Bihar, UP, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, etc. So, but democracy means ruled by the people, so population and number of seats proportion should be more or less same, equivalent, that is democracy. But what is federalism? No state should feel left out, right? So this can skew it in favor of certain states in North India when compared to South India or Northeastern India. There is difference in demographic profile within the state. For example, the western part of Tamil Nadu, the population stabilization is much more better than the southern part of Tamil Nadu within the state. Though Tamil Nadu's population stabilization would have been better when compared to the whole of India, within Tamil Nadu there is a difference. Within UP, the western UP will be better off than eastern UP. But if it is purely based on population, then eastern UP will get more seats than western UP, and that can shortchange one region within a state. Urban areas, because of migration, will be more populated, which means they will have more number of seats and more political power, but the rural areas will be at a disadvantage, which require more focus. So guys, what are the way forward? How do we address this? See, as I told you, if you look at it as democracy versus federalism, it's a problem. But it can be looked at as democracy and federalism. Both of them can be satisfied. It's not an or paradigm, but an and paradigm. It can be looked at like that. See, arriving at a consensus for allocation is a Herculean task. It's a very difficult task in our country. Whichever method you follow, be it even digressive proportionality, you will still have issues amongst the various federating units, amongst the various states. So what is the way forward? See, the role of parliamentarians is to legislate for the entire country. They have to make laws, they have to make policies. See, it is not that the number of people and MPs will represent will drastically undergo a change. Today, they may be representing around 20 to 25 lakhs. But even if the number of seats is increased to 848, they will still represent 16 lakhs. And that is a huge number, right? So no one individual can address the needs of all those people, and that is not their job. Their job is to legislate, is to make policies for the entire country. So cap the number of Lok Sabha seats at the existing 543, so that we have been following it for the last 50 years. Let it continue like that, so that the federal principle is maintained. But democracy to be strengthened, for the elected representatives to be more responsive, you can always increase the MLA seats. Let the MLA seats in Kerala go up from 140 to 200. Let the MLA seats in UP go up from 400 to 800 or 850. Let the MLA seats in Tamil Nadu go up from 234 to 300 or 325. So that will ensure that MLAs represent a smaller population when compared to today. But even that will be in few lakhs. What is the real need? The real need is to strengthen the democracy by strengthening the local bodies, which is how it is there in most of the developed countries. It is the mayors, it is the municipality, it's the municipal corporation, and in India it should be the corporations, the municipalities and the panchayats which should be empowered, which are dealing with day-to-day affairs of the people, and that will lead to responsive democracy, responsible democracy at the grassroots level. MLAs and MPs can form the government and legislate and form policies. So freeze Lok Sabha seats at 543 so that federal principle is achieved. Increase the number of MLA seats and empower the local bodies more so that the democratic principle is also achieved. That is one suggestion. We'll have to wait and see what happens with the delimitation exercise after 2026, but these are my views. I hope you found this useful. And now for the UPSC angle, just some, because it is in the news for the last 1 year and it will continue to be in the news in the next 1 year also. So we should be very clear about the census that is considered for the number of seats, 1971 census. Census that is considered for redrawing the boundaries and reservation for SC and ST is the 2001 census. And this breakup, where is it given? Lok Sabha seats, number of seats 543 breakup is given in the first schedule to the Representation of the People Act 1950. Similarly, Assembly breakup state-wise is given in the second schedule to the Representation of the People Act 1950. So that is something which you should be aware of, which can be tested in prelims. And in the mains, what are the challenges, what are the options for delimitation, where you give the historical background, what are the various scenarios that can be looked at in India, international experience that we discussed, and your suggestion. I mean, what I told is my suggestion, but you can suitably frame your suggestion in a positive manner and conclude your answer. So I hope you found this video useful. I'll see you again with another video soon. Thank you.